It's happening, folks. 6 states are intervening in the Texas Supreme Court lawsuit, declaring that 4 states, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, violated the Constitution by changing the rules of the election. Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we're going to talk about this groundbreaking development. You see, the states of Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Utah are officially intervening in the Texas lawsuit. This is very, very impactful. Now, here we are on Twitter with Kyle Becker, who says, SCOTUS, the states of Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Utah, intervening states, through their undersigned counsel, respectfully file this motion for leave to intervene in this action and join the plaintiff's bill of complaint. Here you can see the official document, and it has all of their names. Now, what does it mean to intervene? Intervening basically means, in a legal sense, that you are joining. So now, these states are going to join Texas in fighting this lawsuit. It is official. Now, we currently have about 18, some people say 19 states that have joined the Texas lawsuit. Now, I believe this is less official than what we're seeing here. What we are seeing here is these states officially applying to be part of the lawsuit. President Donald Trump has done the same thing. He is intervening in the case and has joined them. This, my friends, this is it. If this goes to the Supreme Court and if they accept it, Trump could win. Now, I'm not saying that he has won, but the argument they have is very simple. Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin violated the Constitution by changing the rules of the election without going through the legislature. It really is that simple. It's not about fraud. It's not about cheating, although I believe there is evidence of fraud, evidence of cheating. But this simply has to do with violating the Constitution. You see, these states decided all on their own, without approval from the legislature. They got rid of signature verification. They had no-fault ballots where you could basically make up information, put it on the ballot, send it in, and they would just accept it. There was no chain of custody and no security measures. So this is also a violation of the Equal Protection Clause, because Texas had ballot signatures, they had chain of custody, and they had good security. The 4 states that they're suing did not. Now, folks, we're going to do this. We're going to break it down. Pennsylvania has responded to this lawsuit, and what they say is absolutely ludicrous. It's like a teenager wrote the response. But before we do, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that bell button, smash a like button, and share this video. Now more than ever, it is important to get the word out for the sake of our public. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Introducing Battle Games, Book 1. It's a story about the far future, where people battle in futuristic, fast-paced gladiator matches, striving for the championship. I love this concept. This book has it all. Romance, action, suspense. If you're a fan of science fiction, get your copy today by clicking on the link down below. And we're back. So, let's jump right in. Here I have the official document from the SupremeCourt.gov. This is official. It's real. You can see here, State of Texas versus the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, State of Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and you can see that Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Utah are going to intervene, and this is their bill of complaint in intervention. Now, I want to highlight a very particular paragraph that I believe really shows you the logic behind this motion. They say, quote, "For the President and the Vice President of the United States are the only elected officials who represent all the voters in the nation," end quote. Further, the intervening states have a strong interest in ensuring that the unconstitutional administration of elections in the defendant states does not compromise ballot security and unfairly dilute votes of voters in the intervening states. Every voter in a federal election has a right under the Constitution to have his vote fairly counted without it being distorted by fraudulently cast votes. Anderson v. United States, 417 U.S. 211277, 1974. And there's a lot more in this thing. I'm not going to analyze the entire document. What's important is that now it is official. It's happening, folks. This is a court case that could influence the entire outcome of the 2020 election. Now, it's possible the Supreme Court could ignore it. I hope they don't, because America needs fair and honest elections, and these states are being accused of unconstitutionally holding their elections and violating the Equal Protections Clause by giving favor to some votes and disfavor to other votes. Now, Pennsylvania has officially issued a response, and when I read what they wrote, you're not going to believe it. It is written in a very unprofessional, very hyperbolic way. Let's look. Preliminary statement. Since Election Day, state and federal courts throughout the country have been flooded with frivolous lawsuits. Citation needed. Aimed at disenfranchising large swaths of voters. Never mind the other voters. And undermining the legitimacy of the election. So already they're lying. This is about election integrity. If 4 states are allowed to violate the Constitution, to get rid of security measures, to get rid of signature checks, to basically open up their states to irregularities, then it is a huge problem for the rest of the country. They go on to say that the state of Texas has now added its voice to the cacophony of bogus claims. Texas seeks to invalidate elections in 4 states for yielding results which it disagrees. Its request for this court to excise its original jurisdiction and then anoint Texas' preferred candidate for president is legally indefensible, and it is an affront to the principles of constitutional democracy. Well, okay, there's a lot to unpack there. First, America is not a democracy. America is a constitutional republic. Strike 1. 2. This isn't about Texas's preferred candidate. This is about 4 states which violated the Constitution by changing the rules of the election without going through the legislature. It's not an option. You must go through the legislature if you want to change the rules. They did not. And another thing I find very interesting about this response is that Pennsylvania does not address the argument. They don't say, well, we did not violate the Constitution, here's the proof. They simply say, how dare Texas do this? They're bad. My democracy, basically. Like, they're not really making real arguments. And they haven't made a single legal argument in all of this. It's just name-calling. It's like a teenager wrote this response. There's 2 things I want to highlight. 1, for people who made fun of Sidney Powell when she released the Kraken for her spelling, errors, they spelled affront wrong, first of all. And second of all, they did not actually respond to the plaintiff's claims. Did not respond. Hopefully the Supreme Court realizes this and says, look, we told you to respond to the claims. You didn't respond. Now we have to adjudicate. In other news, Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is under federal investigation for financial corruption and fraud. He's being investigated under a tax case, and yep, I've said this before, but the Senate recently released a report on Hunter Biden, and it concluded that the Biden family is implicated in financial and political fraud and crime. These are very serious allegations, and now Hunter Biden is officially being investigated. Unfortunately, his father, Joe Biden, is implicated in a lot of this corruption. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Joe Biden does get inaugurated as president, as many people are claiming will happen, I'm not entirely convinced, but I admit it could happen. Probably will happen, knowing the system. He could very well end up impeached, and then we could have a Kamala Harris presidency. Another really interesting piece of news that's got a lot of people talking is the Pentagon, here on Twitter, with ABC News. In a surprising move, the Pentagon has told the CIA that it plans to end the majority of the military support it provides to the agency's counterterrorism missions by January 5th, according to a former senior administrator and intelligence official. I don't know what this means, folks, but the Pentagon is literally saying it's no longer going to back the CIA. Now, this has happened shortly after Trump replaced a lot of Pentagon officials with his own loyalists. people who are loyal to Donald Trump. What is happening? Who knows? Is this some sort of nefarious plot to overtake the government? I don't know. But it could just be Trump trying to make moves that he thinks will be good for the country moving forward, regardless of what happens with the election. But that, my friends, is pretty much the story. Pennsylvania House of Representatives has joined the Texas lawsuit. Basically, every single day that passes, we seem to have more people, more states, and more groups who are joining and backing the Texas lawsuit. If the Supreme Court refuses to hear it, man, you're going to have a very, very, very interesting situation. There are states right now, red states, Republican states, saying that they want to secede from the Union if the Supreme Court does not protect the Constitution and fix these problems. Nearly half of the nation is talking about seceding. Now, what is Joe Biden going to rule over if half of the country breaks away? I don't know. But keep in mind, the blue areas are always smug and they're always showing off because they're elitists, that they make all the money, they have big tech, they have big industry. But you know what they don't have that the conservative states do? Food. Yes, the conservative red states make all the food. Good luck eating all that money, so things are precarious, friends. Precarious indeed. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, if you want to support the channel, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. I am funded by viewers like you. If you want to donate, visit my donor box page or send me crypto. Links and addresses are down below. You can also visit one of my sponsors. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.